Hey, what's happening, guys? Ronin Man here. Early morning, just perfect California day. Like literally, absolutely perfect. Could not be better. Perfect. I'm so stoked. I always think back to when I was a kid, you know, and I was like a kid, little kid. And the one thing I hold on to was no matter what was going on in my life, Saturday morning was always awesome. You know, Saturday morning was freaking awesome. And I would wake up and I'd be like, heck yeah, cartoons today. Fucking A, bro. I'd watch a cartoon. There wasn't many on back then. And then I'd go to the park with my friends and it was awesome. And I always remember that. In Tucson, Arizona park and New Horizons Trailer Park. Man, that was really special. Like, cause I was really feeling the universe, you know. People, at the end of the day, aren't that important. I mean, our main thing is our life and this planet. It's so amazing. The journeys we go through. People get hung up on things. Not that people are not super valuable and all that, but at the end of the day, it's you on this planet, man. It's fucking awesome. You know, enjoy those nice days. All right. I want to talk today, a really simple thing about how to get over a problem. And it's something I've never really heard discussed. I'm sure somebody has, but I just haven't heard it myself. I discovered it when I was working on a problem. And I just, you know, I shared something and, you know, it was like in a group and it was like basically too honest. And then the group like tore me apart afterwards. They were like, you know, like basically do this, do that. You got to, you know, and that wasn't what I needed. I just kind of knew that, you know, sometimes you need that, right? Sometimes you want the group to say, you know, like when I was studying Chinese, I needed the group to say, no, you said that wrong. No, the grammar is incorrect. You know, doesn't matter about the tones. We're talking about the grammar, you know, and you need to be wrong sometimes. But when you're working on a deep, difficult to change issue, that's not what you need. You need kind of the opposite. You need some kind of vision. And same time, you need that kind of, what do you call it? Confidence or, I can't think of the word, but that word where you're ready to attack a very difficult thing. You're ready to change it because you know you're going to face some serious shit. That's why you don't change. It's like there's reasons, right? So it's finding out those reasons. And that's why motivational videos don't change anything, because you don't get in there to the reason of why you're not changing, because you're smart, right? Why aren't you changing? There's a good reason. There's always a good reason. Once you figure that out, it's your gold, right? The reason might be because you want to have a happy childhood in your life. You know, you don't want to remember bad things, and so you're not willing to face things just because you want a happy childhood. But of course, it doesn't help if you didn't have a child. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just a matter of just accepting, right? But let's get to this one here. So, what do you do? Very simple. Okay, what you do is ABC. Is when you have a problem and you know that you're not ready to admit it yet, or sorry, you're not ready to change yet, but you kind of see this opportunity is murky, boiling up or something, you know, that there might be the chance to change here. What I do is it's very simple. I go into some kind of group, whatever it is. It could be a summit, you know, on a call with somebody, talking to a friend. And what I do, it could even be a 12-step meeting. It's what I do is I say in the meeting, I say, look, I have this serious problem, okay? And here's how I feel about it. And it totally sucks. And I tried to solve it this way, I tried to solve it that way. And when I did it this way, that happened. And then when I did this way, that happened. So then I stopped. And I'm just getting this feeling that those aren't the answers, even though they seem like they probably are, but they're not, because when I try them, it doesn't work. So I'm trying something new here. So I'm sharing something very difficult. And I don't want any advice. I don't want anybody to make any mention of what I said afterwards. And you get people to agree to that. Then you just share really honestly, you know, I'm super embarrassed about this. I got this is happening, whatever. And you're not asking for advice. You're just merely admitting it to a group of people. And there's something magic. There's something magic that happens with this. Trust me. This can change things, or can kickstart the change process when nothing else will. So what you do is you say it, and then basically afterwards, feel your internal compass, okay? You know, you hear these sirens, right? You know, it could be a fire, it could be a policeman. A lot of the reason why there's policemen going out arresting people is because they can't do this kind of stuff. Believe it or not, a lot of the guys are getting arrested, going to jail. They actually have really serious problems that you could really sympathize with. But because they don't fix them, they're unhealed, and they go out there and do things. And of course, nobody has any forgiveness for them, and the cycle starts again. So, but you don't have to. You can solve all your fucking problems, basically. Any of your big ones. You can fucking work on them and change your life. It is fucking true. I have done it my whole life. It is awesome. I've seen many guys do it. I've helped many guys do it. So the key thing is the mindset. So you're telling people you're not ready to change. So don't give me any advice. And then you say it super honest in a way that you would never say it if they were going to give you advice. And then just stop. No one will say anything. If you say it correctly, like not accusing them, you're asking them a favor. You're begging them, please. I got to share something. Please don't share afterwards. Please don't say anything. I just need to process this. Thank you. And then you share, people will they won't say anything. They'll respect. Now, everything's changed when that's over. You go out by yourself, you will go take a walk or whatever, and you'll realize, wait a second, now, my big secret is out. Because a lot of times the secret it's kind of an inner embarrassment, because I guess at some level you kind of know there's reasons why you're not changing, you know what I mean? And you know that you're just telling people part of the problem to get their sympathy and have them come help you. And that can be valuable. I mean, we need, fucking attaboys once in a while from friends and stuff. I'm not saying that's never good, but if you're wearing a story out and you're just, internally, you might not know what the reason is, but there's something in there that as you tell the story to people, this is how you kind of sense you should do this, is when you're telling a story to people and all of a sudden you realize, you're like, wait, I am not being completely honest here. Just realize that. That's all you got to do. Just don't say anything. Just say, oh my gosh, I'm not being completely honest. Because I'm not telling them that I tried to solve it. I'm letting them try to solve it. They're saying all the standard things, which I've already done. I'm shooting those down. And I'm kind of like somebody would smoke to keep someone from standing too close to them. That's why we hold fires, right? That's a lot of reasons we do them, self-protection. Fire is one of those things, like nobody gets near you when you got fire. And smoking, it keeps people away. It does. It keeps people fucking away. So when you're doing that with that problem, you're not hiding, you're not in a bunker, but you're just kind of keeping people, you're not telling them, and you're kind of like, what am I doing here? What you're doing, so you can understand it, what you're doing is you're realizing at some level that you have a problem that is not really that problem. It's like another problem. There's an inner web of things that are causing you not to change or to fix it. Like you might have to move. You might be accepting that someone you live with is really a bad person for you and they're not benefiting you in any way. I'm not talking some general, I don't like my roommate thing. I'm talking a more deep thing where somebody is, somebody you know really well, and it's bringing you back to a dark place. Whether they're doing it on purpose, it doesn't matter. You're just like, wait, this is not bringing me to a good place day after day. So what do I do? But then you're thinking, well, I can't afford it. And so what you can do when you share, see, when you have a solid excuse like that, then you can go into the group and you can say, yeah, my mind is telling me, and again, I don't want any advice. I just want to say this and hear myself saying it. My mind is saying that it's impossible to change, and I kind of want you guys to tell me some bullshit. And then I'll just say in my mind, nope, I'm justified because I can't afford it. And then you get into like a pity party. Your brother or sister has money, your friend has money, and why is life unfair? And you kind of just go back into the zombified state that humans are usually in. But instead, what you do is you face it, but you also protect yourself by saying, look, don't give me advice, please, please. Let me just process this. Even if somebody comes up to you afterwards, and take some time, and you might want to, those guys that come help you might want to take their phone number and say, hey, you mind if I call you later when I'm ready? Call you a little bit later, is that cool? And the guy will say, yeah, sure. And then you might take his number and then you say, okay, I'm ready. It's when you're ready. It's when you're really ready. Okay, that's all. You're just giving yourself time till you're ready. It doesn't matter if you call them back. You do it right there. There's no difference. I personally, if you're going to say a favorite flavor, I like to say it right then. I like to right away. Just do it. Okay, so what you do is then, now, you've said it. Go away, and it will be, if you do it properly, and it's a very good chance, that'll be the first time in your life when you're going to have opened up something, but you're not opening yourself up to attack. When I say attack, I do mean attack. People do attack you for making mistakes. It's true. People can be really mean, just like kids can be mean, right? But also, too, sometimes even helpful advice can feel like attack when it's a really difficult situation for you. Like it could be a serious insecurity that you could never change. You know, it could be something that you feel like there's no point in even saying it. It's never going to change, you know. But the thing is, you can change. And believe me, in the history of billions of years of life on this planet, somebody found the secret. You got to remember that. Somebody else found the secret to this one. Don't give up. There's somebody else. They figured this one out. They somehow learned to comfortably live with it. Believe it or not. I've seen this a million times in my life with myself and with other people. So have faith that somebody solved it, even though you, and also, you know, kind of like you got to look at yourself honestly. When you're having trouble, when you're, you know, in a difficult state, you're not sleeping well sometimes, you're not thinking well, and you feel like, oh, I'm not sure, I'm not figuring this out, I'm a dummy, you know. But, you know, actually you're not in a good, you know, pretty obviously thinking about it right now, you weren't in a good state to change, right? So it might not even be a genius that says it. It might be just a normal guy who just says it, you know, the right way, you know. Like for me, the first time I said that, someone came up to me and they said, you know what? I really like what you said. I said, I didn't say anything. I just said, I'm not ready to change. And I said, you know, and he goes, he goes, that's beautiful. He goes, I know what you're doing. He goes, that's cool. He goes, good luck with that. And man, that was it. That's all I needed. I was ready to change right then. I can't remember if I talked to him or I talked to somebody else, but it was kind of that balm on the wound kind of thing. You know, it's just the right, he could see what I was doing. He really could. And it was brilliant because it was a way to solve this problem without overcoming the emotional part first, right? It was a way to outsmart that kind of, you know, whatever you call it, that rage or that anger, that complexity, or that just that mix of emotions where you're just a ball of crap and you can't figure anything out. You're just like a dog running around, you know, you see those dogs with energy, like pups or whatever, running around across the room, just whoa, 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 whoa. You're just doing that, feeling like you're doing something, and you know, not a perfect analogy because dogs are freaking awesome, but so are you. So I guess it is okay analogy. But yeah, you're just like, okay, this is not working. Okay, it was as well-meaning as it ain't working. So I want to change this one. So boom. So when I hear someone share like that, and they say like real stuff, you know, I had somebody on the channel admit, you know, that they were narcissists. You know, they said, you know, my father did this and here's how I grew up. And he said, I'm going to work on it. And I couldn't believe it because that's so rare. And the way he was saying it, I actually believed it. It wasn't just a guy beating himself up. I was like, oh shit. Because that basically doesn't happen. Narcissists basically don't change. But hey, you know, there's always a chance for the first, you know, with the right loving care and the right advice, hearing the right thing from his side, you know, just being ready, being in the right place at the right time. You know, you might be like Sam Vaknin. Sam Vaknin, the guy who makes the channel, you know, he's an ex-narcissist, and he helps people that have problems with narcs, and he tells the truth. He's really quite interesting. And there's a couple of like that. There's other ones who just blurt stuff out, but Sam's one actually tries to help people and gives, you know, real advice. And actually, Sam is one of the guys who created, invented, made up a lot of the words that we use to describe narcissism back in the 90s. He's a clinical everything. He's got like 1 million degrees. But he's the guy who actually made up a lot of the, what's it called? Like the words like supply, you know, the narcissist needs supply. He made that word up. He did a lot of stuff. And it was because he was on the inside. He cracked open that invisible, you know, that box. He let it out, and that's beautiful. So maybe you'll be that, you know, like admitting you have a serious problem is the beginning of something, you know, and people just don't do this. So you might say, oh, you know, no. When it comes to real heavy, like stuff you're doing wrong and stuff, not a lot of guys, they don't do this. This is magic here. We're talking serious personal change magic, you know. So it's a step. Give yourself that baby step. And you can even do it in an anonymous group. You can join an anonymous 12-step group online. You don't have to use your name. You know what I mean? You can join any group you want. You can just join a meeting and just, you know, let's say, I don't know, friends of, what is it, Codependency Anonymous or something, just add a meeting and share, you know. And, you know, there's no requirements to join a group like that online, nothing. You just join and you say, you know, whatever they say, and you fucking, you know, don't be a user, listen to what they're saying. Don't share because you won't know what to say yet, but you're allowed to share your problem, and you're allowed to express real stuff And you'd be surprised what different people can, you don't even know, right? That can help you. And then you're not putting your ass on the line. Like, let's say you got a tight life where you don't want your ass on the line. That's fine too. Do it online. Do it anonymous. You know, you don't have to do it with your friend. I tend to do it in groups that are semi-anonymous, so like they know who I am, but they're not my family and friends. You know, so I might see them a week later, and they might say, hey, I thought about what you said, and here's what I think. And so that's why I like groups that loosely know me, because I believe in people. I believe that when I share honestly, like the real stuff, the real heavy stuff, I believe that other people are touched by that. And it often changes them when they see that. And that is good for me too, because then later on, they've often thought about it. And even if it just helped them to do something themselves, I'm very uplifted that my difficulties uplifted them. Like really, they saw, you know, the other thing is they saw what I was doing. That's very valuable too. A lot of people, they just don't notice things. They're like, he's a this, he's a that. They don't hear you. They don't feel you. They don't see you, right? And so someone like that who says, wow, you said this and it really affected me. Is what you said, right? Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of what I said, actually, yeah. And how did it affect you? Well, I was having trouble with this thing. I just couldn't change it for like 20 years. And then I heard what you said. You could admit it without having that pressure changing immediately, you know? You didn't have that, I got to do it right now or I'm a piece of shit. You know, you didn't have that. And you also weren't even asking for, you were just putting it out in the ether. It's like, that was amazing. I fucking, you know, I did that. And I want to do it again with you. You know, I want to tell you something else. And it's just like, you just realize that you passed on something great. So even if, in other words, even if he didn't have advice for my thing, the fact that it was of great help to him, enough to inspire him, that helps me right there. I'm like, oh my God, I'm a force for good. Wow, okay, you know, fuck, you know, even if I can't solve this one, I'm okay. You know, it's like, sometimes you just need that, you know, and then later on you'll figure it out. That's the thing, eventually you'll figure it out. Have faith in that. Eventually, with the good spirit, with the honest spirit, with the self-vision spirit, where you're seeing your real self and you're really admitting stuff, you'll solve it. You will find a way. I know it sounds impossible to every problem, even a very difficult thing like I went through the last 3 years. So the answer is there, my friends. The answer is there. And so if you're having trouble, just do that one simple thing. Share it. Tell people not to help you. You're not ready for help yet. Be honest. Let them know you're sincere. You're not saying this as like, don't say anything to me. Like, don't accuse them. Just be like, hey, I got this very difficult thing and it's so difficult that I might explode. So don't tell me anything. Don't even look at me. We're just, let me share this. And then you do, ooh, you share it once and you share it honestly, the whole thing, why you didn't fix it, how long it's been going on, the lies you're telling yourself. You might even share what you were going to say before that was dishonest, whatever it is. And then it's out there. It's out there. And you notice, check your temperature, your emotional, you know, crazy, I'm okay temperature. You're like, wow, I'm at peace. Leave it there. Don't worry. That's a seed, and that seed will grow. All right, guys. Hope that's been helpful.